Hi, I'm Luci of GuildfordYoga. Today I'm going to show you how to practice shoulder stand safely and effectively. So if you're new to the pose and you've never done it before, it's worth watching the whole video all the way through and then practicing with me when you watch it a second time. The pose is about being upside down, so of course you won't be able to watch the video and practice at the same time. And the other thing that we really need to be sure about the pose before we start is that we've got good strength in the shoulders and the upper arms. As the name implies, it's a shoulder stand, so that's where you want the weight to be. You're going to press down with the shoulders and the upper arms. And it's that movement of pressing down with the shoulders and the upper arms so that you take the weight on the shoulders, upper arms and elbows. We don't want the weight falling on the neck. There's a large vertebra here, the C7 vertebra, which just sticks out a little bit and you don't want weight there. So I'm going to show you how to use some props to help you. You're going to need a yoga mat, you're going to need a wall or a door, and then you can use a support, a platform. You don't have to do this, but it can be useful if you find you get neck ache. And if you're going to do that, you're going to fold it into four really nice and neatly so that it's got sharp edges, top and bottom. You could use 4 yoga blocks if you've got them. But sometimes that's a bit high. You might find a folded up mat or blanket works better. So first of all, I'll show you the pose, how to do it without a support, and then we can use the support the second time. So what happens with shoulder stand is you need to be lying on your back, near a support if you would like to use that. And certainly as you build up strength, it's worth using your leg strength to come into the pose rather than the core. Check that your body is a nice straight line and turn the arms, inner arms face up, palms face up, and get that turn right in the shoulders. So you press the shoulders down now. You already feel that the weight is off the neck. And then keeping that, you put your feet on the support, wall or door, and push with your legs to lift the hips. Tuck the elbows in, support the back. Make sure that the neck isn't painful. Chin tucked in. Now if you're very new to the pose, stay there. Work on building strength, lifting the body without using the arms too much. When you start to feel more comfortable, you could progress further by lifting one leg, or if you're really comfortable, lift both. Lift up with the hips, turn the arms, so that the fingers point inwards towards one another, stretching the legs and pointing the toes. Now, of course, you can stay there for as long as you like. 20 to 30 breaths is good, even longer if you're very comfortable. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, do so gently. Put the feet back on the support, release the hands and roll the spine back to the floor, nice and gently. And then give the knees a hug. If that didn't work very well for you, if you felt like you got pain in the neck, this is what you can do. Have your folded up blanket or mat, pop it on the mat. Make sure that you have got that nice clean edge and position it quite near the wall so that when you lie on it, your head is on the floor and your shoulders are lined up with the edge of the mat. And what that does is give a little bit of space between your shoulders and the neck and the floor. And that just gives space for the neck to feel a bit more comfortable. And then same thing, inner arms face up. Press down with the shoulders and the upper arms now to take the weight. Feet on the support and use your leg strength to create the lift. See whether that feels better on the neck. And assuming that you're comfortable with the pose, once you've built the strength, you could start working on coming into the pose without using a door or a wall to help you. And in which case, you can use the door or the wall behind you and use that for the next pose that we come into. We come to shoulder stand, and then we come into plow pose straight after. And I'll just show you that. You want to make sure that the support that you're using, wall, door, or even a chair might work, is about one of your arm lengths away. We all have different body proportions, so play around with that distance. It may be longer, it may be shorter. It's a little bit longer for me because I've got long legs but a short body. And then when you're ready, you come into your pose. Make sure the shoulders are going to take the weight. And then you can swing straight into the pose using your core muscles. So breathe in first. As you breathe out, swing up into the pose. Hold the back, chin in. And of course, stay there for your 20, 30 or more breaths. When you're ready to come to plow pose, you then flex the feet and breathe out, hinge at the hips, bringing the legs towards your support. And when you're very new to the pose, you may have your feet quite high up. As you become more flexible and more practiced, you can start taking the feet further down. Try and keep the lift in the hips, lengthen the spine, and still pressing down with the shoulders and the upper arms. Again, hold the pose for 20 to 30 breaths. And when you're ready to release, slowly does it, breathing out. You can have the legs straight or you can bend the knees if you need to, and then give the knees a hug. And then when we've practiced shoulder stand, it's really important every time after you've finished shoulder stand to take a counter pose. And what we mean by that is we're going to take the body the other way. We're going to open the front of the neck, the area that's just being compressed. So the pose we use for that is Maxiation. You're going to have strong straight legs. Lie on your back. Once again, turn the arms, inner arms up. Tuck the shoulder blades in and take the hands underneath the back of your thighs. And then using the elbows, you press down, breathe and lift the chest, but not too high, so that you can take the head back to the floor. And then relax the shoulders, lifting the top chest as the highest point. Hold that for at least 10 breaths. Strong legs, pointing the toes. And when you're ready to release from the pose, you use the elbows, press down firmly. Breathe and lift the head cleanly. And then exhale, lie back. And once again, give both knees a hug. So that's shoulder stand. Just a couple of other things that you need to bear in mind when practicing the pose. It is a strong pose, so don't do it straight away. Make sure that you've warmed the body up first. You've taken at least 5 or 10 minutes of doing other yoga poses so that you stretched out these neck muscles and upper back muscles. So it's a good pose to do at the end of your yoga practice. It's also a good pose to do at the end of the day, as it tends to make you feel quite sleepy. It makes you breathe using your abdominals and your diaphragm. So practice it towards the end of the day if you suffer from insomnia. And then have a good night's sleep afterwards. So thank you very much. That's shoulder stand. Do feel free, have a look at my other videos or join me at classes, and you can find out about those at GuildfordYoga.co.uk. Many thanks. Bye.